You know, I've got 26 fights. You know, I've been in tough fights where, you know, I'm getting beat up. I've been in fights where I'm beating the guy up. So I know that I can handle, you know, a tough fight, and I know I can handle the, you know, deep water that involves fighting. So I just work on being technical and being able to throw good technique and then strike. I don't like ever getting to the point where I can't use good technique in training. So a lot of technique and reps.
So for the most part, in a fight, you would say you rely on more technique than anything else. Like you wouldn't get what's like the best overall.
No, you know, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, especially in training, guys. But you know, when you're inside the cage, things happen. There's a lot of motion involved, there's a lot of pressure. You know, it's an atmosphere that you can't recreate inside the gym. So in my training, I just want to make sure that I'm sharp. You know, and that way, when I am tired in a fight, hopefully good technique comes out. Because with good technique, is you're going to have good balance, you're going to hit hard, as opposed to just trying to hit hard.
Do you also speak for your brother as well, just, you know, in your training methods, just like what you were saying just now?
We have some differences in the way we train a little bit here and there. You know, we've both been in this game for about 8 years now. Our bodies are getting beat up, you know, at different paces. So, you know, we both can do, you know, a little bit different. But, you know, me and him, we were on the mats together 6-7 days a week for the first, you know, couple of years that we trained. So it was identical for a long time. Now it's kind of spread out a little bit. You know, we both have families, have other obligations to uphold. So, yeah, our training is definitely a little bit different now.
What round did you finish back?
First.
How many seconds? It's not just the first round. How many seconds you think you'll beat him?
Like, would you like to get to rematch with Nate Diaz?
Yeah, I'd love to. You know, neither of us are going anywhere. You know, I'm 29 years old. You know, he's about my age as well. So we're both going to be around for a while, and I'm sure it'll happen.
What about Ben Henderson?
We're going to meet very soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it all comes down to timing. You know, and there's nothing set in stone when it comes to number one contender. So if I do what I know I'm capable of doing and fight the way I can fight, I'm going to make a hell of a statement on Saturday.
What's your diet like a week before a fight?
Week before a fight, you know, right now I'm off of carbs, drinking a lot of water, trying to flush everything out. You know, it's different than, you know, normal dieting. I'm working on being prepared to take off about 15 pounds of water at the end of the week.
How much you weigh right now?
I'm about 170.
What, like, when you come onto your theme music, and you know, like, you're seconds away from fighting, the nerves will just kick in?
No, not anymore.
And you fighting your hometown, does it get to you a little bit?
Not at all. That place is my home. That's where I get to have fun and be me. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a violent person, but you know, when you lock me in a cage, I enjoy hitting people.
Which brings me, what if I back you into the corner right now? How would you react? Would it be any different than being in the cage? Or?
You know,
I would take care of the threats.
Yeah.
What about the other girl? I want to see your girl knock somebody out.
After watching Ben do his thing as champ, you get a rematch, which most likely you will. A healthy gym brother takes it?
Yes. I'll put him away. Guarantee it.
That's it.
Like your kicks. Damn, your kicks. But
Oh yeah.
you like when it comes to training with your Muay Thai coach, like what are you just gifted with kicks, or like what type of training do you do, or is it just straight repetition?
We did a lot of technique, you know, over the last couple of years, and there's you know, a saying or a theory that takes, you know, 10,000 reps, 10,000 hours or something to perfect it. You know, we've been working together for 3.5 years now, and it's just been repetition. You know, I had a couple difficulties in my stance when I first started. I came from a you know, wrestling background, so even in the first, you know, more than half of my fights, my fighting stance was very narrow. It's not a good stance to throw kicks off of. It's not a good stance to be able to step forward with your power leg and just keep good balance. So over the last couple of years, we really worked on squaring it up a little bit more to where I could throw a kick and just re-chamber it on the same path. You know, my lead leg will come up easier. So it's just really been lots of reps with good technique every time. You know, not really. A couple things here and there. You know, you gotta pick and choose from certain things. There are definitely some things that I've been working on from more traditional type of martial arts that guys don't really expect in an MMA fight, because MMA has become so, you know, it's so much of a sport now that guys typically do the same exact things. But it's usually just Muay Thai, wrestling, and
Sorry, one more question. Do you see yourself retiring as a lightweight contender, or you see yourself going down to 145 and competing?
If I was going to do anything, I'd go up.
Yeah.
You know, what sucks is I'm not going to get any taller at this point. You know, so I'm 5'8". I'm probably about an average height. You know, 135 pounder.
Yeah.
But you know, as I get older, my weight goes up, and I usually feel a hell of a lot stronger when I'm walking around at about 185. You know, and I trained with him every day when he was fighting up to 185s. And I'll fight anybody in the world up to 185s. I don't really care. But yeah, it'd be fun to go up to 170s.
What does it mean to fight in your home state?
You know, it's awesome being surrounded by you know, my fans. You know, I feed off the energy of the crowd. But when push comes to shove, you know, inside the octagon, doesn't matter where we are. You know, the fans will be chanting in another language.
You think
and I'm still gonna, you know, be going for the kill.
You think you'll ever fight at Madison Square Garden?
I sure hope so. You know, it would be an awesome experience, and unfortunately, Dana said probably not this year. So that kind of, you know, it kind of stinks. You know, just pushing it back even further.
What would it mean to you as a fighter?
It would mean the world. You know, it's New York City, Madison Square Garden, biggest stage. You know, it'd be huge. It would surpass, you know, the numbers in Vegas and all that stuff. So it'd be big for the sport. Mike?
Are you worried at all that Pat's beard is going to be thicker than yours Saturday night?
I'm not worried about the thickness of Pat's beard. You know, this beard, it's not even for, you know, it's not even for the fight. My wife is pregnant, so she gets to get a big belly. I get to get a big beard.
What about the push for getting UFC here in New York? I know this year's out, but will we ever see the day we're getting UFC here in New York?
We will.
Or Connecticut, for that matter, Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, we will see it. It'll happen. You know, unfortunately, when politics are involved, you know, unfortunately sometimes it takes.
Yeah, but it can't be that slow. This goes back to when Pataki said it was barbaric.
Yeah, but it'll get here. It'll get here.
You had an epic war with Joe Lauzon. How many more of those kind of wars do you think you have in you, and how many more do you want to have?
I hope I have none. You know, honestly, it was a cool fight to be in. Thinking back on it, and the you know, the response from the fans was amazing. But I wanted to finish it first. You know, I mean, I dumped every ounce of energy I had in that first round, and I knew coming back to the corner in the second that I was pretty much done, and you know, I had to just keeping the pressure on him and pushing him a little bit so he couldn't get any momentum back. But you know, it was a tough fight, and yeah, I wish I finished him in the first.
What was the recovery time on that fight?
For different things, different times. You know, I was back in the gym, I think, a couple weeks later. You know, still dealing with a lump on my shin from kicking him a couple hundred times. Like,
what's the Ben Henderson doing wrong that both Frankie and Gil are grabbing his kicks and throwing him down at will?
He doesn't really seem to be setting him up too much with his hands anymore. You know, he was throwing a lot of the kicks at Gil, just winging the leg. You know, the Caesar guys tend to really not check kicks that much. They must not deal with them that much in the gym. But you kind of knew he was going to be throwing them. You know, he widened his stance up all the time. He switched to righty every single time.
How did you score that fight?
I scored for Ben. It was a close fight. I thought Gil won the first. The second was really close, but I thought Ben pulled away in the last couple.
You lost in your hometown last time you fought here. Are you gonna be like would you want to win to make up for your loss the last time you was here?
I always want to win.
Who's your picks for this weekend's fights?
It's tough, you know. Chael is a tough guy and can beat Jones. I think he really can, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get inside to take him down. it's going to be a fun fight to watch. And I think Bisping is going to beat Belcher. Sir?
What do you think of women MMA?
I think it's great. It's a great opportunity for them. They come in, they fight their hearts out. It's great, watching them. Never really too worried about, just getting by with the win. They always seem to be very aggressive in there and going for the kill, and it's fun to watch.
Cyborg and Lauzon fighting?
I don't know.
What about the whole Fallon Fox situation?
Yeah. I don't agree with her being allowed to fight, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
How many months before an actual fight do you find out from the wife that you're going to fight someone? Like, you're going to find out your opponent?
It all depends. Sometimes it's 12, 14 weeks. Sometimes it's 6. So it all depends on the way the cards fill up and timing wise, who gets hurt and all that stuff. So I don't even know right now. I think fight dentist or something like that. Yeah. Everybody.
Do you agree with John Jones' decision not to fight Son the first time on his day?
You know what? He made the decision, so I support him making the decision. I tell everybody, all the guys in our gym, if you're not confident, even just a little bit, don't do it. There's so much riding on a fight. There's so many little things that can happen. So if you already have doubt in your mind, just don't do it. I personally would have fought him, but I'm a little crazy and probably a little stupid sometimes. So, but yeah, if he wasn't comfortable taking the fight, then you just don't do it.
How do you feel about this fight?
I hate it every time I do it. I've been doing it my whole life. Of course. Like I told somebody else, we'll meet someday. It'll happen again. We're both going to be around for a while.
What do you think can defeat Anderson Silva for the championship?
I don't know. Weidman's got a good shot. As good shot as anybody. Chael was close. But Anderson's just a freak. He's just a scary dude.
Besides them, is there one guy you really want to fight
Dan.
Well,
We'll fight one day. Retirement fight. We'll make sure we're both getting a good portion of the pay-per-view and, have it, I'll be in trouble, 170. But, 170.
Yeah, make him cut. Nice.
Yeah, but, I'll be in trouble, though, because he'll fight me comfortable, and when he's comfortable, he's a dangerous man. So, but you guys would be in for a show. So.
You've been in the UFC a long time. You've been close to getting a title shot several times. How hard is it for you to stay motivated, knowing that you missed the title shots, you're still fighting? How does that weigh on you?
It's not that bad. I stay motivated because I really like beating up grown men that are training to beat me up. It probably comes from being a little brother, having two older brothers, being sat on many times, stuffed under the couch, stuff like that. That I really enjoy breaking guys.
And what kind of problems do you think Pat Haley poses for you comes at her?
He's a tough guy. He's a great grappler and keeps coming forward. He's got a very methodical game. I think that his game plan will be to try to slow me down. But mine is not to allow him to do that.
And a lot of fans and media always compare Strikeforce to UFC. How do you feel about the Strikeforce fighters and their level of talent?
They've done very well. Strikeforce has been around. They've been able to bring in a lot of good guys and really cement themselves. So it made perfect sense for me for Gil to come over and try to unify. And it's great. It sucks seeing another organization get folded under and not really having like a feeder type or anything like that for the UFC. But now we all get to fight each other, so that's pretty cool as a fighter. Mike?
When you were in Joe Lauzon fight, you touched on it after the fight, how it was so cool to see him try that flying kneebar on you. But now that you've had time to look back on it, how can you describe what that moment was like for you?
I was barely on my feet at that time. You know, he pushed me against the cage towards his corner, and I felt him kind of stepping forward and turning his hip. And we had drilled it, you know, hundreds of times. So I knew it was kind of coming. And I was able to push him away, but that, you know, voice in my head said, there's 20 seconds left, go hit him. You know, so if I circled away knowing I had won at that point, you know, like some guys do, it never would have happened, and there would have been the drama. You know, if there's time on the clock, I'm going to be trying to hit him. So, you know, I pushed forward, and he timed it perfectly and threw it up there. I was able to, you know, dive my heel through and push through pretty much right away and control with one hand. So it really never was in danger. Now, it really did look pretty nice, though, from my point of view, too. Yeah, but
are you a fighter that enjoys rewatching your fights, or?
No, I usually don't even watch them. You know, I always know that I know the perspective while I'm in there, and you know, even being in Dan's corner, being in Charlie's corner, and all these other guys' corners that you know, that have fought at the highest level. I sometimes have to take a step back because even on the outside, even being right there and training with these guys, I don't know exactly what it's like while they're inside the cage. So, however I see the fight, I know what was going on in my mind and what, you know, like sometimes the fans, you know, everybody in the crowd will ooh and ah when, you know, somebody throws a strike, but it really doesn't land. Or, you know, sometimes something's closer, or, you know, you never know what you're feeling, or the guy in there is feeling. So, the perspective that I have as the fighter, you know, you can't beat it.
That's the way you like to keep it. You don't like to rewatch it.
You know, and it's just gets butterflies going. Yeah.
Okay, we got time for one more question, and then we're going to do the meet and greet.
All the people you fought, who would you say had the heaviest hand?
Melvin had the heaviest hands. He, the first overhand he threw hit me in the top of the head, and I remember being like, wow, but it didn't hit me in the face. You know, I clash heads with guys all the time in the gym, and I've never come out on the bad side. You know, I've got a pretty hard coconut. And for him to hit me in the head and have it hurt, I knew that was not a shot I wanted to take on the gym.